Hey, oh.
Come on.
Stop that woman from leaving the room.
Yo, hey there, I see you're back. And we got many new viewers with us this time. Well, you know what? Boy, do I have news for you. Hi, I'm Tony Inocentis, your host for Rantz News, produced by ePolitical USA on our YouTube channel. Welcome to the beginning issue of the 2000 series of Rantz News, where you get updated on some of the most interesting news stories around Southern California. There has been a lot of things going on in our Southern California communities, so we have a lot of ground to cover in just a few minutes of time. So let's not waste any time. We are going to get started right now. Folks, the election season is just beginning. Carson taxpayers and voters, get ready. I'm sure the worst is yet to come.
Biggest liar. This guy lied.
I can't take it.
Honey, what's wrong?
I'm hyperventilating. I can't take it anymore. Basic manners are gone from politics. What is it with these ding-dongs?
No doubt this coming November 2016, voters nationwide will be anxious to learn the results of who will be the next president of the United States.
How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is to be loved by you.
But in Los Angeles County, voters within the small city of Carson will be just as eager to learn their local election results for mayor and city council.
I'm sorry, honey. I guess dreaming doesn't work.
Shh, I want to see who wins.
We all do, honey. We all do.
Many of you may remember Carson was in the news quite a lot last year. First, for almost landing an NFL deal to build a new stadium that would have hosted the Raiders and the Chargers in the same stadium. But also for their tumultuous politics and their successful recall election just a few months ago in March 2016 of their city clerk of just 1 year, Jim Deere, who had previously served 11 years as mayor. Now, why did he go from mayor to city clerk? Make a long story short, he increased his salary from $18,000 a year as a part-time mayor to $129,000 as a full-time city clerk, and which it also boosted his retirement pension by $1 million. Deere was recalled by Carson voters after complaints from 20 of 26 members of the City Hall staff accused him of racism and bullying. 18 of the complaints came from women. This led to a unanimous censure from the City Council after an independent investigator verified the complaints. Jim Deere, who should be in the political graveyard, has showed no shame and has vowed his political resurrection. Jim Deere and his brother Don Deere have been plotting shenanigans in the city for over a decade, but have ramped them up even more since being recalled by the voters. For years, Jim Deere swept his corruption under a rug with holier-than-thou assertions, but revelation of his personal greed and disregard of taxpayers have now clearly surfaced. For example, it has since been learned that Monette Gavino, a former Carson City Council representative, assisting then Mayor Jim Deere, was still a Filipino citizen when hired into a position that paid $79,000 annually, after Jim Deere forced the city manager to hire her. Monette Gavino has since testified in court that Jim Deere is her boyfriend. The city council eliminated Gavino's position by way of budget cuts. Monette Gavino, who lives in a Gardena property owned by Jim Deere, then filed an unverified sham wrongful termination and sexual harassment lawsuit against the city and Mayor Albert Robles. Gavino's attorneys have since abandoned her or fired her. Gavino dismissed her case last month, one day before she and boyfriend Jim Deere were ordered to be deposed under oath. So far, this has cost Carson taxpayers over $120,000, and the city taxpayers are angry at Gavino and Jim Deere.
My name is Miriam Vasquez, and I'm glad I'm here and heard what this woman is saying. They're all lies. She lies. She used to walk from Ilito's office to Jim Deere's office, and she was getting paid $79,000 from the city, which that's a fraud. She even was a resident and not a legal person in this country, and Jim Deere gave him a job to be in the city hall, taking advantage of his position being the mayor of the city of Carson. That's favoritism. That's against the law. And Ilito Santarina, together with the last mayor, Jim Deere, that he wants to run again, I told him no more. That's it. 14 years, we have to take him, favoritism, giving money to his own non-profit organization. I know all what was going on in the city hall. I used to be sitting there. And she was getting 79,000 taxpayers in order to be walking back and forth from office to office. That is a fraud. And he should get punished for doing that, giving somebody who doesn't have no papers to be working in the city of Carson, and give us a field representative position, making $79,000. Councils, we are in the United States.
Now, one would think that someone would quit after all that, decide that these things aren't paying off. But that wasn't the end of Gavino's shams, as she appeared at a city council meeting the day following her boyfriend Jim Deere filed to run for mayor against attorney Albert Robles in November.
My name is Monette Gavino, and I am a mother, and I have 2 children. I came to the United States to be a contributing member of this country. I came here to teach American children, children of different colors, because this is America. This is a country of diversity, and this is a country of immigrants. I am here to live with the American dream and help my children to fulfill their American dreams. But what are you doing to me? You want to take away that opportunity because I am an immigrant?
Your time is up. Your time is up. Your time is up. And by the way, that's a complaint there. I'm suing you for malicious prosecution and defamation. So you've been served. Thank you. Next.
Deere has also put together a team of candidates together to run with him, and he will try to overtake the entire city government in November. Show me who your friends are, and I can tell you who you are. The Carson Alliance for Scammers must have been holding their monthly meeting during the city council meeting when they all showed up to support Gavino and Deere's next round of shenanigans, targeting once again Mayor Albert Robles. This picture taken immediately following Gavino's shameless bashing of Mayor Robles and council tells it all. Shown here with Monette Gavino are Carson's most infamous scammers. Remember rolling on the ground faker Jan Schaefer? Jan has to stay indoors on windy days, otherwise she's liable to get knocked down and roll away.
Hey,
Come on.
Stop that woman from leaving the room. She should be arrested.
That might not be a bad idea. And then this is Zeke Vidari, the San Pedro troublemaker who was convicted in court for impersonating to be a Carson City official at a small local bank. They were all waiting in the wings with Jim Deere's brother, Don Deere, the master plotter from Gardena, with open arms to console the sham queen, Monette Gavino, after the mayor caught Gavino totally off guard and served her with his own defamation and malicious prosecution lawsuit. Hey, my mom always told me, you play with fire long enough and enough, you're going to get burnt. Then the tears started to flow.
And I would prefer not to have a third party.
Soon someone has no money in it.
So it's her word against his.
And where was the king of sham, Jim Deere, when the scammers were being sent away with their tails between their legs? A most reliable former city commissioner found him cowering away at the IHOP across the street, where he was later met by his brother Don to be debriefed. So, folks, the election season is just beginning. Best to go out and buy a new set of those rubber boots because the crap is about to get real deep. Well, that's it for this edition of Rantz News. Now, click subscribe, and we'll see you real soon.